Here we are at Module 9, and in this module, we're actually going to continue the looking at how to work with students who have diverse needs. But we're also going to start focusing a little bit more on multimedia and the use of creativity to do so. So this is the homepage, and below you'll find the video that I'm recording right now. We're going to start again with the modules. And in Module 9, there is an overview, as always, with the learning goal. Make sure that you take some time to read through them because they will help you understand where you're expected to be by the end of the module and with the assignments. In addition to a couple of assignments for this related directly to this module, I'm also providing you with the first step in an upcoming collaborative lesson plan assignment, and that is giving you your group assignment. So I would strongly recommend that you have a chance to make contact with your group. As many of you found out, it's very difficult to create a good team environment for collaboration if you don't start communicating with them right away. And in this one, you're not limited to how you communicate with your group. In other words, if you choose to use text messages or email or messaging through Canvas or using one of the Canvas tools, all of those are fine. Unlike the wiki project where I wanted everything to be right on the wiki, this one's going to be set up a little bit differently. And this is actually going to be creating a lesson plan in a collaborative way, which you'll find out a little bit more about in the next module, next week's module actually. But to kind of get you started, since we're going to be talking about working with ESOL students, ELL students, there's a lot of different terminology. We want to have some strategies that we can use to try to help those ESOL students. And this is a list of strategies that have been provided basically from the state. And so you can flip through here and get an idea of some of the things that they're focusing on for ESOL students to try and address their needs. And you'll want to hold on to this because when you create your collaborative lesson plan, you're also going to want to include how to help those ESE, ESOL, and other students that have specific needs. So for the collaborative lesson plan groups, I have provided a list of the groups and student names so that you're able to find them within Canvas or be able to, and that's usually the starting point for being able to make contact. I will probably follow up at the end of the week to make sure everybody has made contact. It is not graded, obviously, but again, it's really important that you try to meet with your group, make that initial contact so that you can know where you're going to start with this. You know, what kind of common ground might you have? I did try and group people based on what they said early discussion, what kind of grade level or subject area you had an interest in, but I know that sometimes that didn't always work out. So please try and get with your group this week to at least say, hey, this is who I am, this is what I'm interested in, and this is how you can contact me the best way. And then also in this module, I've included, and I'll try and keep including it in the next few modules, some optional activities. Now here's the deal, there is a major project at the end of this course. It's not the final, but it is a major project at the end of the course where you're going to create a teacher website and / ePortfolio. So for the ePortfolio, you have to provide previous assignments. And again, we'll get into some detail on that when we get closer to the assignment. But you will have to also add either 2 to 3 optional activities if you want to earn the exemplary or even the satisfactory performance level for this big point criteria. And so not doing that will have a major drop in your points. This is something that I wanted to make sure that you knew of in advance instead of having to wait until the last minute, trying to put together a big project anyway, and then to try and do some optional things. So beginning now until the end of the semester, you have an opportunity to do some optional activities. Now, as you see on some of the listed ones, I've already been offering optional blog posts on a weekly basis that you weren't doing a required blog post. So if you haven't done those in the past, you of course can't go backwards, but there are going to be some opportunities for future ones. So that is one. Another one is to post a substantive comment on one or more of your classmates' blog posts. And so I have provided you with the directions on how to access some of your classmates and their blog posts. There's a K-12 online conference that is provided every year, and you can choose some sessions. Watch the sessions. I guess the average is about 20 minutes for each of the sessions, and then you can write a blog post with a description, a review analysis, along with your reflective comments. The 2016 sessions, actually, they've changed the format, and so that starts October 31st. So if you wanted to do that today, you wouldn't be able to. Today, meaning October 16th, because it wouldn't be available. But there are sessions from 2015. Okay, another thing you can do is to create a Twitter account. Twitter is a pretty popular way of learning how to connect with others, and it's used primarily to help teachers learn and gain more professional development. However, it is also used in some classrooms. So the options on Twitter would be to either, or you can do both actually too, but follow me. My Twitter handle is Colmama, and follow 6 prominent educators. And if you just Google educators to follow on Twitter, you'll get a list of a bunch of folks there. Post at least 6 educationally oriented tweets with the hashtag that is provided there. The other thing you can do with Twitter is to participate in an educational Twitter chat. There are many different kinds of Twitter chats going on every day of the week, and I did provide a calendar so you can see which one might be closest to your interest. Then you would write a blog post reflecting on your experience, and you link back to that Twitter account where you have shown you've participated. Actually, some chats provide what they call a Storify, which is a accumulation of the tweets related to that chat, but you'll have a chance to delve into that more and ask questions of me if you need to. Another thing you can do is to create your resume in a creative and technology-oriented fashion. Now, this is not then your traditional Word template resume. You should use your own information, but you should do it in a very different creative way. You could use Word, but you would have to really twist up what that template has. So I have provided a link to a website that has 45 different ones that show a lot of creativity. For example, you could do an infographic, and I've provided tools for you in every blog post assignment. You could do something in Canva. Some of you have already taken the opportunity to create something in Canva, but you want to do something very different, very creative, and also something obviously that can be embedded or linked. And lastly, I have provided an option of creating a screencast tutorial video. This is where you would provide instruction of some kind on how to use a web-based tool or how to navigate a site. These kinds of video tutorials, just like I'm doing right now, can be very, very helpful when you think about how, first of all, big video has become versus just somebody having to read something. It also provides a different learning modality for those who are much more visual activities, and you will need a total of 3 if you want to try for the optional, the exemplary criteria, and you'll need at least 2 if you want to just go for the satisfactory. Now, you're not graded just totally on the optional activities, but that's a part of the criteria, so I just wanted you to have a chance to begin to build those. The next module page leads you to the multimedia that is optional for Chapter 9. And then next is the things to do, which is for this week, the digital blog post number H, reflecting on chapter 9. Please note that you need to make reflective writing your priority here. If you want full credit, you also need to include a created digital tool using one of the sites that I provide in the assignments. The other thing that you'll need to do is to respond to a discussion topic. This one is kind of related to the one we just did, but instead of looking at the general assistive adaptive technologies, you're specifically looking for technology tools for ESOL ELL students. This is a very important area, and so that's why we dedicate the time we do to these two discussion posts. Now remember that this is to be academic writing, not reflective writing. It is also expecting that you will use a number of different resources and you will use in-text citations. You need to make sure that you are also answering the question, which is technology tools for ELL students. There are lots of different things that we can do that are good strategies for ELL students, but the focus of this is on technology. Remember too that this is always due on Saturday as your initial post, and then you follow up your other comments on Sunday. And then we have the digital blog post number H assignment. So number of things to get done this week. If you have time and want to go ahead, I do encourage you to go ahead and look at the next module, and that will get more into the expectations for the collaborative lesson plan project. So this week with the collaborative lesson plan, it is primarily to make a communication or contact with your group, and as well as doing the discussion post and the digital blog post. So hopefully you have a good week, and let me know if you have any questions.